Hello, hello, hello. This is HAT500 slash Talented Track 98 slash Eloise Wonderwise slash Hilo. And in this video, we're going to be talking a little bit about the Magna 3. Now, it is very, very early on these Magna 3s, and I'm going to keep it a stack. Your boy has not gotten one drop yet, so of anything. I haven't had much time to farm, and I don't really know if I'm going to farm them personally. So I've only really done my dailies, but I do have the pass, so I had like 8 hosts today, and I got nothing from both of them. So I don't have any weapons, but I'm gonna just go through some you know how we do on this channel, we go through some theory crafting stuff. So I'm gonna just kind of talk about some of my thoughts about how the grids may look now, and just the weapons in general, because the wiki does have the weapons up now. So I'm kind of glad that I was at work, because now I can just look at the wiki instead of having to go through the game to show skills. So I have we're gonna talk about, first let's talk about like the Exalto type stuff. I do have two parties up right here. I have this wind one and I have this light one that I'm just gonna go through. They have like almost empty grids right now, because I just want to like simulate what this is gonna look like with these weapons now. So like Magna kinda got dog walked on the Exalto thing. So let's look at the Exalto, and this is the exact same for the light one too. So we're just gonna look at this one for right now. But on these you get 20%, right? Which, this is why you guys got kind of dog walked on Magna, because 20% is like really freaking bad. I don't know why they thought it needed to be 20% instead of just making it 30 like Primal. It's very strange to me, especially since these weapons are like very, like, if you look at the light one, it's literally the exact same thing. So it's not even like Primal Exalto, where like this third skill is something like, you know, like fire has echo, wind has normal amp, you know, light has crit damage, like stuff like that. Like, it's nothing like super unique, right, on these. So I don't see why they didn't just make it 30%. And the reason why 20% is an issue, right, is because there's a few reasons, right? So the main reason why those Exaltos are like so powerful, right, is it's for the Fa keys. And of course I don't have freaking Fa key on my wind one. Let me go to the light party instead. So it's for these keys, right, which is 280%. It's also for the Revens, right, to hit this single-sided without two summons, right. You need 280 from your grid plus like your friend summon or like your main summon, right? So single-sided plus your grid, and plus I guess technically your characters, right? You need 280%, right? So like let's bring up a calculator real quick. So I was doing some math here, but let's bring up a calculator. So then the new summons are 170, just like the primals, and I'll go over those later too. But they're 170 just like primal, which is another thing why it's weird that the Exalto is not 30. But this is 170, right? So, and also let me see, do I have Sandolphin in this party? No, I don't. Okay, where's Sandolphin? Or Michael or whoever. Sandolphin. So Sandolphin and all the Primarchs, they do have this night codes thing, which is the same as these, right? So he does work with Magna. Like the Primarchs do work with Magna. So this works. You do get this, but you do not get the dragons, right? So like if we go look at Luo does not have that night codes thing, and like ewiyar doesn't have whatever which one is was this stormworms. Ewiyar does not have this, so you cannot use the dragons. And the Magna like there's no Magna summon like the dragons, right? So unless they put in a Magna summon that's gonna be like the dragons, like you don't get the sub aura from anything. So you're only working off of your grid, your friend or main summon, and the Primarch, right? So if we do 170 from your main, right, plus 20 from Sandolphin or whoever your Primarch is, you're at 190, right? So you now need, what is that, 10? You need another 90 to get to 280. Which, if these were 30%, you would just need 3 of these to get to 90. But it's 20%. So you need 5 of these. Not 3, not 4. You need 5 of these to hit that single-sided. It's just like, why? I don't understand. So that like that's the reason why I brought up these grids, because I want to look at like how these grids would function. So like, let's go back to the win one. Like, if we tried to put in, so the only thing I have in here in both of these is just Ultima Opus, because like you're gonna use that in like pretty much every run, right, of like a normal party. So it's like, if you have to use 5 slots for these things, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So you have 3 slots available to you at any given time for like anything else. And the other thing that's kind of whack about these two is these don't give you like, all of these weapons seem very offensive. From what I've been looking at them on and off at work, and like most of these weapons, except like this light one right here that has this, most of these are all very offensive weapons. Whereas like you know, for the Exaltos we have now, you can kind of, because you only need 2 to 3 of them, you can take them and be really offensive in harder content. But then when you get into harder content, you still have like a ton of space extra. And you, granted, even with these, you would have extra grid, you know, so you would have extra slots. But like, a lot of your slots are just going just to hit this boost, right? Which is really weird, and you're not getting anything like in return, in terms of like sustainability, right? So it's just like, okay, you're dealing with, but I'm not going to focus on extra grids right now. Let me just focus on normal grids. So like five slots get taken up with that, right? And then you have 3 left. So it's like, what do you do with these last 3, right? It's like, I mean, I guess you could put like a celestial right here. I'm trying to think, what else does wind even run? Like, I guess I'm on Mana Diver right now, so maybe you bring like a spoon so that you can manhand it, or like your Judgment Staff or something like that. So you bring like Judgment Staff or whatever to manhand. Then you have like, or I guess you could bring the Ultima too if you had a, or wait, this is a spear, right? Yeah, this is a spear, never mind. So you could bring your Ultima if this was wind. But I'm gonna just leave mine because all my stuff is earth. So yeah, so you could bring like a Judgment Staff, you could bring like a what was the other thing I said? Spoon. So yeah, you could bring like that for your main hand. And then like you could bring Celestial here, and then you have like 1 slot left. It's like, what do you do with this last slot? Like, I mean, you could throw like an unupgraded PNS in here. See, that's another thing too, is like, PNS is still good even if you don't upgrade it, right? Like, if you had 2 PNS, you can just throw those bad boys in here. So you could, like, your grid could be like Judgment Staff or Spoon right here, 2 PNS, and then just the 5 of those things, right? But then you have like no survivability. You're just like pretty much burst. So like, if you try to do that against like for example, if you try to do that against something like Bennu, you're probably gonna get cheeking bodied, because he's gonna do that one move where he just like hits you multiple times. You're gonna have no cheeking HP, no defense, nothing, because you just have like nothing in your grid. And I mean, you could make these 2 slots defense, or even this slot defense, I guess, but it's just like, I'm just trying to think, is that even worth it, right? Especially in an Ellie like Wind, where it's like, you could just run Siete swords instead, right? And Siete swords are kind of like more customizable too, because you could do like let's just take the 5 example, right? Like, you could do like 3 attack Siete swords and then like 2 defense ones if you want to be like more defensive and still have some offense too, right? For like the same slots. So it's like, maybe this big boost is like worth it, and this attack and damage cap. But like, I don't know, it's just kind of weird. I guess this does kind of lack damage cap though if you don't bring PNS. Heck, dude, where does Magna even get damage cap from? I guess this is your damage cap, huh? What does Wind Magna even use? I haven't used this joint in a hot minute. What does Wind Magna use? Fists? Beaks? I mean, this doesn't have damage cap, does it? No, this is supplemental. This doesn't have damage cap. I mean... Oh yeah, and then that takes out your Celestial, too. I don't know, it's weird. It takes up, like, 5 slots is a lot. Like, that's a lot of space for... That's a lot of space for... Like, I'll show you, like, my grid isn't even... The grid that I use for wind is, like, not even that crazy. Like, obviously I'm a cheeking whale, right? So I have, like, all the gotcha weapons. But, like, these 3 are not barred, right? Like, like my 2 ewiyar daggers and my clam are not barred. Like, this isn't barred either, by the way. This is just copies. But, you know, this could easily just be a spoon instead, right? Or the judgment staff again. And it's like, I feel like, why not just use this instead of that? You know what I'm saying? Like this is just, all you have to do is get the copies. You don't even have to bar them. So I don't know, maybe that's my whale instincts taking over, but like this is what, I don't know, 5 slots is a lot of cheeking space, especially in a normal grid. Like, that's a lot of space. So I don't know, I'm kind of iffy on these. I feel like these would be better if they were just 30%. Or if they're going to put a summon in soon that is like the 6 dragons where you can use less of these. But I mean, right now, I mean, I guess you kind of have to farm 5 of them. At least for burst purposes. You probably use this for like burst purposes. Because I think kind of the thing that they're doing is like they want you to use this weapon and then this weapon, right? Because this weapon is like Destiny Knuckle, right? It's like Destiny Knuckle. So essentially what I think they want you to do is, like, if we go back to that other grid. Oh, whoops, not extra grids. If we go back to this other grid, right? Instead of running, well, I guess you could still run Man Diver, right? But you could do like 5 of those things, 5 of those Exaltos, 2 of the Bloodsheds, and then whatever you're gonna do here. So like if you're gonna do Spartan, you use like, I mean, I guess you could use your Opus, right? And then you could put in like Celestial or something like extra. Or if you were gonna do Luchador, you could just use like whatever fist, Mana Diver again with the Judgment Staff or whatever, right? You could just use something here, and then that's like a burst setup. So it's like good for burst, but it's like, I don't know if that's really good for like harder content. And I feel like that's kind of the issue with Magna is, I feel like Magna, what we already had, could kind of deal with normal stuff, right? And even burst to a lesser extent. But I feel like the harder thing with Magna is doing harder content. So I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but I just feel like ever since like Hexa, I feel like you've seen a drastic drop off in usage. Well, I guess at the same time though, Wind's kind of fine because Wind again has Siete Swords, right? So like you could use this stuff for like burst, and then just use Siete Swords for harder content. So I guess that's true too, for Wind. I don't know. It's just weird. So let me get past that weapon a bit. I want to talk about some of the other stuff too, because some of the other stuff is kind of weird too. So, like I mentioned. Well, I mentioned this is Destiny Knuckles. I think this one is kind of fine. This one's just really good mod for Magna, right? So you don't have to have Destiny Knuckles. I don't know how this actually compares to Destiny Knuckles with this enmity stuff, because I know a lot of Wind burst uses like Spartan, and they like cut their HP and stuff. Well, I mean, you cut your HP with the bloodshed and stuff, but then you get like the jammed and stuff, so you also play into the enmity. So I don't know how this actually compares. This is medium boost compared to this small boost, but this also has small enmity, so I don't know how that compares. But I mean, this is good just to have in Magna, right? I think this weapon is fine. The one that's kind of weird to me is this one. This one, like, this weapon is like kind of okay. It's like mini World Ender. I mean, it really is just World Ender for Magna. But the weird thing about it is it's in Wind. That's the weird thing. Because you look at this, right, and it's like, okay, big boost to Wind allies skill damage cap, big supplemental boost to skill damage, right? Which is good. Like, this is good, but Wind has ewiyar beak already, and like this supplemental Wind wind ally skill damage, like this down here should be 100k per weapon, right? And then 200 per weapon, so you're like capped at supplemental for skill damage. So this right here is like the same as this. So it's like what essentially what you're trading instead is you're getting this big boost to skill damage cap, which is good. This is good. But it's like, is this plus this worth giving up this? That's what I'm curious about. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and just the fact that these are in the same Ellie is weird to me. It's just like, why wouldn't you give this one to light? Like that, it's just weird. I don't know. It's strange to me. And I guess they didn't give it to light because light has symmetry, and symmetry is kind of like this. But symmetry isn't big though. It's like small. When it comes to tempering. But I mean, I guess this is kind of good for like harder stuff because you do get this small garrison. But even this is like, would you run this just for the garrison? I don't know. Like what? Like I don't know. It's just weird. Like why would you run this when you just have this? It's strange. I don't know. It's very weird to me. Yeah, I don't really understand that. I don't get the logic personally. Um, I mean, again, I would probably farm. So I said for these, I would probably farm like 5 of them, right? For these, I would probably farm 2, and then for these, I would probably farm 2 as well, just to have them. Like if I was a Magna player, but it's just weird. It's a very weird weapon to me when this exists as well. Like this is just a slightly more defensive, and like I said, it's slightly because it's not even like this is big boost. This is a small garrison, so it's just like this is slightly more defensive than this. So I'm just like, question mark. um, yeah, and then I just had World Ender here, but yeah, like I said, World Ender is just World Enders is the same thing as this, but these are like the same thing as this, except it doesn't have this damage cap. That's the only difference. But this big supplemental boost is going to be like the same. If assuming you get it maxed out, right? Um, so yeah, I don't know. Let's look at the light weapons a bit. So the light weapons, you know, again, this is the exact same thing, right? This Exalto weapon is the exact same thing. So let me look at the light setup, right? So like with light, you have, let's say you did the same 5 things, right? So let's look at like light's options, right? So like light, if you were gonna put, I don't think light really has a good staff. Free to play does it? Staff and dagger. Yeah, there's not really a good staff in here. So you would probably use this as your dagger main hand, which I think is fine because especially you're gonna get this as well since you're playing into the 280%. So I think if you were trying to do like mana diver, I think that's fine. But these last 2 slots, I don't really know what you would put here. I mean, I guess again you could just put PNS here if that's what you want to do. If you wanted to go like full damage, you could just put unbarred PNS right here for the supplemental. I'm trying to what the heck does Magna even use? I mean, I guess let's look at the other weapons. So like this weapon this weapon is another weird one because this one is like you get like this is good, right? This is good. The HP and healing cap, and then this is good. But it's just like this weapon is literally just defense. It's literally just defense. Like that's all it's here for. And it's like, do you really need this? Question mark. Like this is the Ellie that has Shikilumi swords. You could just take that small boost. Like I don't know. I mean, okay, let's look at a Lumi sword. Like it's small boost to attack and max HP. Like do you need this medium HP and healing cap? I mean, I guess it's kind of nice, but you just lose attack as well. And I don't know if I would put this. I don't know where you would put this. I really don't. because it's just, I don't know, it's very defensive. And again, there symmetry exists. Like let me bring up Symmetria. Okay, so Symmetria, let's see. So Symmetria is big boost to light allies defense based on how low HP is, small boost to skill damage. Yeah. So I used my tab. Okay, let's open this again. So it's like, would you rather? And see the crazy thing about Symmetria too is you have to. I told this to the Earth people in like the Magna hunting video, but like the thing that's crazy about these Seeking Revan weapons is this stuff is all like well and good, right? But the crazy thing is these Seeking Awakenings. This is 55% HP on your Revan and 15% defense. So it's like, why would I use this that is purely HP and healing cap and defense when I could get a bigger boost to my defense in terms of garrison than this, right? I could get a bigger boost, and yeah, this is gonna get boosted by your summon, but like, does that really matter? Does that really matter? I don't know. And then it's like, you can also get this in comparison to nothing, right? It's like this right here. I don't even know if this plus the boost from your summon is gonna beat this. Heck, I mean, these two together, boosted by your summon, I don't know if they're gonna beat this Defense Awakening on the Symmetria. And then you also have this, so it's just like, why? You know what I'm saying? It's just like, it's weird. Like the weapons that they chose are really weird to me. It's really freaking weird. Yeah, I don't know. And speaking of which, now that I think about it too, another thing that's weird, like Light makes sense, right? Because Light's Guild War is coming, and maybe they bamboozle us, and Wind is after Light instead of Dark, right? But the other thing that's weird is, why did they pick Wind right now? Wind is such a weird option, and the reason why Wind is a weird option is because you remember how I said that this 20% is only affected by it's only affected by your summon and your Primarch right now? Well, guess what Wind doesn't have right now? A Primarch. You literally had Earth, Fire, and Water you could have chose from besides Light that all have Primarchs to make it so that you could use this. You literally cannot even use this single-sided in Wind right now because Wind doesn't have Raphael. So it's just like, why did you pick Wind first? It doesn't have a Guild War. As far as I know, it doesn't have a Dread Barrage, and it doesn't have a Primarch. So why would you pick Wind right now? It's just weird. So like, even if you farm all this stuff for Wind, you don't even technically need 5 because you have to double side anyway. So it's just like, what? What are you talking about? I don't understand. I mean, maybe they just shadow drop Raphael at the end of the month. I don't know. It's just like, what? It's very strange. I don't know. It's very weird. I guess that's another thing we could talk. Well, actually, let me finish the light weapons. So this is the last light weapon. This weapon's also weird. This weapon's also weird, and I'll tell you why this one's weird. Like, I saw some people talking about, I can't remember which Discord I was in, but some people were talking about like how people are gonna underestimate this because it's like a multi-attack rate weapon, right? And pretty much they were saying people that haven't done Fall Zero, people that haven't done Hexa, are not going to see the value of this, right? Which is true, because in Hexa and Fall Zero, they both have triple attack triggers, right? Or omens, whatever, that you have to deal with, right? So having this boost to multi-attack rate is good. And having this in general is good. I would probably get like just one of these though, I'm gonna be real. But the weird thing about this is, let's go, and I've talked about multi-attack in many videos for Fall Zero now. Let's go look at light, one of my light setups. So let me look at this one, right? So this, oh my god, if it'll load. Okay, there. So the thing about this is the multi-attack rate from this grid comes from things that are not necessarily multi-attack weapons. So what I mean by that is, like, sometimes you'll see with like Wind, right? You'll see it with like wind, or sorry, not wind, with light, right? You'll see people run like Nihon Harp because Nihon Harp has multi-attack rate on it. Plus, it's skill damage, right? It's a World Ender type weapon, kind of like World Ender as well. World Ender does the same thing where it gives you multi-attack, right? But the thing about it is, if you look at this grid, right? This grid, your Opus, the auto attack key gives 25% triple attack, and then an upgraded middle key gives you 5%, right? So this, your Opus is 30% by itself. If you run a Celestial, let's just say 5%, let's just say nobody is working off of it, right? So it's only 5% instead of 10, just to make it easy. So this is 35% right here. Let's say your Ultima does work on like everybody in your party, right? This is 25%. So you have 30% right here and then 30%. That's 60%. And then you run a Bahamut weapon, that's like another 20%. So you can get up to like 80% right here, right? Like for most grids. And you see that these aren't like, sure they have multi-attack attributes to them, but they're, besides the Bahamut bow, nothing in here is like necessarily a multi-attack weapon, right? So it's just like, why do you need this even in these grids when you don't necessarily need to build a multi-attack weapon, right? Because even if you go look at like a like Earth, right? Like my Earth Fall, this has the double World Enders, but even this still, this is 30%, this is 25%. I mean, I guess Earth is kind of weird because Earth kind of cheats with Olivia, where you can just get 100% on her and then MC can just get 100% on Bubs. But like, I don't know, it's weird. I mean, I guess Light, some people do, especially for like the Hexa solos and stuff that's going on now, people do use like John's weapon for multi-attack, right? Like her spear. So maybe you could use it for something like that. But even then, like I said, I would probably only farm one of those. But it's just, I don't know, it's just kind of strange. And even this weapon, I mean, this is kind of what makes it, to be honest, because you have the Luo weapon too. You have was this an axe? You have this thing that gives multi-attack, like this. But this doesn't have any attack mods on it. That's the reason why you never really run this thing. But I don't know. It's just really weird weapon choices, in my opinion. It's really weird. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like I said, for you know, Light, I would probably farm one of these. I think you could probably get by with one of these. I would maybe farm 1 to 2 of these. Maybe. I just don't know if you run that much defense, because again, Symmetria exists. And it's just like this, if you want a defensive weapon, it's right here. It's right here. That like I don't understand. This is not even the MK2 one. This is just normal. Just get this, and it's just like, that's better defense, better HP. Like the only thing you're really losing is the healing cap, but it's like, I mean, you'll survive. You'll live. I don't know. And then these things, again, like I said, I mean, I would farm 5 of them, but I don't know, it's kind of weird. I mean, I guess your grid does kind of open up. Your grid does kind of open up. If we go back to, where'd I have those again? In here. So like, if you go back to this, right? If you did run double-sided, like if you run 2 Tiamats, then you already do your key, right? So now you don't even really need, sorry, I think I hit the mic. You don't even really need 5 at that point, because you already hit your key with 170 plus 170, right? But at that point, it's like, what do you run that's different? Like, what do you run that's new? Like, you don't really, I guess you need these? Maybe you use these? Do these, yeah, I guess you could still run these, but maybe you would run like 2 of them, 2 or 3 of them instead of 5, just to open up your grid more, and then you could make like a more, like, essentially, maybe these could kind of take, these don't have supplemental on them though. So they can't really necessarily take the place of P and S. And that's another weird thing, because it's like if you have P and S, well, I guess P and S, if you don't upgrade it, it doesn't have the damage cap. So you could still run, like, for example, let's just say you're using like whatever for your main hand, right? Let's just say a spoon, right? So you could run like a spoon here. You could run like a spoon here, like 2 to 3 of those things right here to get your damage cap. And then you could run like 2 unupgraded PNS right here. Then maybe like Celestial, and then like the amp weapon right there. That might be good, actually. That might be good. You could run, yeah, that might work, actually. You could run like 3 of these, three of these things to get your damage cap. Then 2 unupgraded PNS right here. And then I guess you could, instead of Celestial 2, you could run two of these things. You could run that as well. You could run 2 of these things, or just 2 beaks in these last 2 spots. Like, you could do something like that. And then for light, you could do, let's say again you're using Concordia for your main hand, right? If you're doing like Mana Diver, you could run like 3 of these things at the bottom, right? Then like 2 unupgraded PNS, and then, I mean, I don't really know if you're just doing normal stuff. I don't really know if you run this weapon. I don't know if you run either one of these. If you're just doing normal stuff, because you don't really do anything. I mean, I guess this gives you triple attack rate, but I don't know about that one. What else do you even run in Light Magna? What else do you even run in Light Magna? Do you run the, well, okay, you could run Celestial still. Celestial, and then I guess you could just run the amp harp, one of the amp harps. I guess you could do that. That could fit. So you could run 3 of them down there, and then two unupgraded PNS, amp harp, Celestial, and then you have your Concordia right here. Well, although Concordia and that amp harp, well, I guess it depends what amp harp you use. If you use the, like, one of the ones that give you auto attack, then it's gonna interfere with Concordia. Like, they're gonna be doing the same thing. So maybe that's not best. So I guess if you're using Mana Diver, don't use the normal attack amp harp. Use like the skill damage one. But heck, I don't even know what else you use in Cheeking Light Magna besides Lumi swords. Honestly. Question mark? Heck, I don't. Maybe one of these. Isn't this, I mean, I guess if you were doing CA damage, maybe you could run something like that. Do people still use these Pillar of Flames? Oh, this weapon's kind of whack, actually. Maybe not. Maybe not. I don't know, dude. Maybe you just throw an Eden in there. Sheesh, dude. He can. See, and this is what I'm saying too. It's like, why am I still looking for weapons with Magna 3? I don't know. I mean, I guess you could just throw this in, right? This is still big boost to Light Allies attack. Plus, you're getting triple attack rate, which is always good. Like multi attack rate in general. So maybe, I mean, I guess maybe that's something you could do too. Is you could do instead of an amp harp, you could put this multi attack thing as well. Maybe that's what the grid looks like. I don't know. But even that, I mean, that requires having like both of those setups requires two unupgraded PNS in the Ellie, and not everybody's gonna have that either. I just think that's probably what's optimal, but I don't know, because I don't even know what else you put here. I mean, do you just put Lumi swords again? Maybe you just put double Lumi sword or 4 Lumi swords. I don't know. I don't know. That's very weird. But yeah, okay. Let me go back to what I was gonna say about Wind. So what I was gonna say about Wind is, yeah, how they don't have Raphael so they're forced to do double-sided. Maybe I did say that already. I don't remember what else I was gonna say earlier. But yeah, I don't know, dude. Magna 3 is strange to me. Um, I'm not really sure the logic on some of these weapons. I feel like Wind kind of got the better end of the stick because I feel like Wind's weapons are more useful. I feel like Light, the only thing that's really good is this and this situationally. I'm very like not against this weapon, but this weapon is just very sus to me. It's very sus to me when this exists. It's very sus to me because they do the exact same thing, but this is like better. This gives you like more benefit. So what's the point? I don't know. Maybe this is a heck. Maybe that's a. It's because it's a spear. I, I don't know. I don't know. It's weird, dude. It's weird. So yeah. I mean, I think that's it for. This dog is very very all over the place. Yeah, maybe that's it for Magna 3, dude. The fights were kind of okay. I full autoed Tiamat, the hard. I don't even know what she's called. The new Tiamat. I full autoed her. I tried to full auto the Luminera one. That one's kind of whack. My dark's still whack, bro, because I haven't barred anything yet. So yeah. But I mean that one dies because everyone's trying to get it for guild. Well, even then, after reset, people have kind of already stopped doing them. So I don't know. Maybe everybody already got their weapons. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I don't even know what to title this video. Let's talk about Magna 3, maybe. I don't know. It's very strange. Like I said, the biggest thing is just this is weird. This is really weird. I don't know why they chose to do 20%. Like, is 10% really that make or break? Like, would Magna grids really be that strong if you had? Because the thing about it is, because Magna grids don't have 6 dragon summons, they would, even with 30, they would be forced to run 3 of these. They'd be forced to run 3 of these, bare minimum. So, and they cap it 100 anyway. This caps it 100%. So you, even if you tried to throw in a 4th one, you would only get another 10%. So it's just like I don't know. 20% is so strange. It's so weird. It's so weird to me. Why not just make it 30 and just make it easy 3? Why do this like extra 2? It's not even extra 1. It's extra 2. Why? I don't know, dude. I don't know, but like I said at the beginning, I ain't gonna farm. I would just do my dailies. I'm gonna keep it a stack because as you guys know, I'm prime on light, and I'm okay with this for wind because I think this is okay. And like I mentioned before, for wind, if I was gonna do something in hard and wind, I would just use Siete's swords anyway because like none of this really helps you for harder stuff, except maybe this. This kind of does help you for harder stuff, because then you might be running double TMI. Oh yeah, I should talk about the summons. Let me talk about the summons. Okay, so let me see. I actually haven't looked at the summons like at all. The only thing I knew was that they got this sub aura with attack and defense, and obviously I knew the 170. So let me see what they got for calls. Okay, so they have, she has unworldly damage now, which is good. Still attack down. Bonus. Oh wait, bonus wind damage. What does this mean? This is bonus wind damage for you, or she just does an extra hit. If that's bonus wind damage, like an echo on you, that would be kind of cool. And boost to wind attack. I mean, that's okay. That's nothing crazy compared to what she already did, but I mean, it's good. Okay, let's look at the Luminera. Luminera. Okay, so this one has 300% bonus light damage to all foes. So I'm guessing this is not an echo. This is just extra damage. So she always had the remove buff. So just dark attack now. I mean, I guess it's good. I mean, I guess this is good if you're fighting dark, but if you're fighting the thing I don't really like about these summons is that I feel like a lot of them are kind of useless when you're in harder content. Like you can call like even pre-transcendence, you could call like Titan to survive something, right? You could call like Zeph to get charge bar, or to dispel. I mean, I guess she has dispel too, right? But you know what I mean? Hades, you could get some like extra charge bar gain. You know, these don't really do like a lot. So I mean, when it comes to, I think these are 3 sands, right? Instead of 5, like how they originally said. Yeah, it's only 3. So 3 sands ain't terrible, honestly. But again, honestly, I'm not even gonna uncap mine because I don't play Magna in like any Ellie now. So like I don't really see the point in upgrading these. Besides like friendless, and even friendless is kind of sus because I use other stuff with the second slots. Um, so yeah. I don't know about the summons either. I don't know. I know a lot of people are like super hyped about Magna 3. Um, but maybe it's the whale showing, but I'm not really feeling it a lot. I do think wind is okay. I do think wind is good. Wind at least has potential, I think. Light, I feel like got kind of screwed. I'm gonna keep it real. Light is all over the place. I feel like that's not what light necessarily needed. And that also another thing too is like the type of weapons are strange. Yeah, the type of weapons are strange. Like katana, no. Yeah, we don't really need another katana. Spear, I don't know why you would use this in the first place in a lot of instances, but doesn't, yeah, you have the Cheeking Bub Spear, don't you? I don't know if you'd use that over this, but I mean, gun, I saw some memes with like people doing like soldier stuff with this, maybe. I don't know. I mean, it is better than the other gun that people were using on light, which is seeking just this thing. Yeah, I guess it's better than this. I mean, is it? Well, yeah, okay, it is better. It is better because you do get big boost to light attack, and then you also get you get this and damage cap. So yeah, but yeah, that's better than what we had. Let me see. Wind, was this? This is a dagger. Oh, well, you can mayhem this. Okay, you can mayhem this on mana diver instead of a spoon. Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad actually. I didn't realize this was a dagger. I thought this was a sword. So yeah, we go back to win. Well, let me look back at win. So yeah, win keeps freaking winning. Win keeps winning. So yeah, we go back to win. If you were trying to play mana diver, instead of doing like a freaking spoon right here, you could just use that weapon. Yeah, you could just use that weapon. And then you could use that weapon. You could use that weapon, and then you could use like a beak right here, right? You could use that weapon, a beak, and then you're getting your damage cap, your skill damage cap, and then you're getting the supplemental off of both of them because they're both going to give 100k. Then you do like, I mean, I guess if you're doing single-sided, you would do 5 of those things. If you're doing double-sided, you could do 3. Then if you're doing double-sided, you could do your 2 PNS right here, and then whatever you want right here. You could do your celestial or whatever. If you were doing single-sided, you could, or sorry, if you were doing double-sided, wait. Doing single-sided, yeah, single-sided. You would do 5 of those things right here. And then, wait, that's what I just said. Or did I? I don't know. Single-sided, you do 5 of those here, celestial. Double-sided, you do 3 of those here, double unupgraded PNS here, celestial right there. Yeah, you could do that. Yeah, winds aren't bad. I mean, it's still weird. They're still and wind. See the thing about it, I went through all that mess. Wind can't even do it single-sided because it doesn't have Raphael, so it has to do it double-sided anyway. So double-sided. So yeah, you would do 3 down here, 3 down here. 2 unupgraded PNS, Celestial, or whatever you want to pick, Beak, and then that dagger. You could do that. Yeah. Went through all that just for them to not have Raphael. Bow is freaking dead, so nah. I mean, you can still use the weapon. The weapon's still good, but nah. I'm talking main hand right now. And this is a gun too. I mean, I guess this is a good. I guess this is kind of better than this. So you don't have to. If you wanted to do anything gun related, you don't have to do like enmity in Magna anymore. So I guess that's kind of good. Um, but yeah, I don't know. Magna 3 is strange. It's very strange to me. It's very strange. The weapons are very strange. The element pick, wind, is very strange because there's no freaking Raphael. So you still have to do this single or double sided. It's just weird. I don't know. It's very strange. I don't. The decisions they made are weird to me. But yeah, I think I might be kind of rambling at this point, like a little bit more than usual. So I think I might cut the video here. But yeah, those are kind of my thoughts on Magna 3. I mean, the raids are kind of cool, I guess. Luminaire is kind of cheeky and annoying with all those buffs. But and the debuff that makes it so you can't multi-attack, it's like, bruh. It's like they put regular Luminaria plus cheeky Luminaria Malice together and made a boss, and it's like, Jesus Christ. But yeah, I mean, the fights are kind of cool, but the weapons are kind of and that's the worst part too, is the weapons seem kind of meh to me, but you kind of have to farm them because they are like slightly better in certain situations. Like you're gonna want the weapons, so you're gonna have to farm them if you play Magna, but they're kind of to me. I don't know. Maybe I'm being an elitist, but that's just how I feel. Maybe I'll see. Like I said, I think a big thing that would help is if they release a summon series that is like the 6 Dragons, but for Magna. If they did that for Magna, I think that would be good. Or if they just add the Magna thing onto 6 Dragons, whatever you want to do, that'd be good. Maybe that's what Rise of the Beast is gonna be. Maybe. Well, no, those are characters though, not summons. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe you guys are just screwed. I'm sorry. I don't know. We'll see what they do, I guess. But yeah, I think that's it for this video. So thanks for watching as always. Thanks for the support, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.